Back again, and today we're going to take a few moments and look at how you can do some real basic cell formatting. We have information on this page that is raw data, and we want to make this look a whole lot nicer. Now, there are a lot of different things that you can do to make these look a lot better. One of the things that we can do is we can apply some styles. Excel has pre-designed styles similar to the ones that Microsoft Office uses in Word and PowerPoint and any other product in that line. We'll go ahead and select our main title up here, and you have a button over here that says Cell Styles, and if you click on it you will get a list of the different styles that Excel has to start off with. For this we're going to go ahead and use Title, and that style will come in and be applied to it. Now that's okay, but we want to go ahead and make it a little bit larger, so we'll just use the grow button right here to increase the size of this a little bit. We'll take it on up to 24 points. Underneath the main heading we have a subheading right here, and the subheading is going to have some formatting applied to it also, but rather than going and using a style, for this one we'll just go and do it the old-fashioned way. First off, we'll change the font color. We're going to use the same color that we were using before, and it's this darker blue, and we're going to change the font. Now I'm just going to kind of pick out a font here that I like to use. Let's go ahead and use Bookman Old Style. Now once we have that in, we want to have our titles, normally you want your titles centered over top of the data. And the best way to do that is to merge them. So I'm going to select cell A1 and then drag to the right all the way over through column F, because I want it centered over all the columns of information that I have right here. And once I've done that, you can just go on up and use your merge and center button. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my subheading, and you'll notice I didn't do them both at the same time. If you try to do them both at the same time, it'll try and combine all of that into one cell and will make a mess. Sometimes it won't even let you combine it. But I'll go ahead and I'll merge that, and while I'm there, let's go ahead and make that a little bit larger also, so it's a little bit easier to read, and maybe I'll go ahead and make it bold also. Another style that's used quite often is a style to set off your column headings. Almost every spreadsheet, usually you have your title and subtitle, and then you're going to have some column headings. So I'm going to select these cells right here, and I will go to my styles, and you have three different column heading styles: a heading 1, heading 2, and a heading 3. Now I don't want anything overly large, so I'm just going to use the heading 3 style. You'll notice also at the bottom we have a totals line. So I'm going to select that and go all the way over, and they have a style specifically designed for that, and it's this total style right here. This is an accounting style because it adds a double underline to kind of let the reader know that that is the final totals. Now we have that in there and it's starting to look pretty good. Let's do some other things as far as formatting goes. I'm going to go ahead and change the column widths. I want them all to be the same width, but I definitely need it wider than what you're seeing right here. It just seems like it's all crammed together. So I'll select my columns by clicking up here on B at the top and dragging to the right. Once I have my columns selected, I will right click and go down to where it says column width. And we'll change that, instead of 9, let's go to 12. Create a little bit more space. Now my column headings are all left aligned, and my numbers underneath there are all right aligned, and sometimes that can be a little bit hard on the eye. Normally what I will do in that situation is I will select my column headings and I will either center them over the columns or I'll make them right aligned. A big part of that just depends on how wide the information is that's in the columns. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and set it for right alignment. Next, we want to go ahead and change the formatting of our numbers. And I'm going to select my numbers right here and drag all the way out into the total column, because eventually we'll have something out there. We might as well go ahead and format it the same right now. What we need to do is we need to make sure that our numbers all have the same number of decimal places, and it would be nice to have some commas in there to help separate them by thousands. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to choose a simple format called accounting. The only problem when you do this is that this formatting also adds dollar symbols, and sometimes that gets a little bit hard on the eyes. It makes it a little congested. So in this case, I'm going to right click on that and I'm going to go down to where it says Format Cells. When this dialog box opens up, I'm going to go in for the symbol and I'm going to change that to none and then hit OK. And that way we got rid of that, but we kept the rest of the formatting.